What's going down, guys? TFORTOM here, and today we're playing a match of Team Deathmatch, I believe. I'm not entirely sure, I can't read the writing. And we're doing it on Interchange, which is actually one of my favorite maps from Modern Warfare 3. I'm not entirely sure why, but I just don't really have a problem with it. I think it's a well-balanced map. But, you know, tomatoes, when it's actually, you know, tomatoes. Anyway, that is not today's topic. Today's topic is how I almost got charged with arson. Yes, arson. Arson is sort of, I don't know, loosely, it's kind of like the destruction of property or, well, anything generally. And it's generally done with fire. So, going back a couple of years, a young Tom and his mates were roaming the streets of my town, thugs for life. And, well, let's just say my friends were a little bit tipsy. I was completely there. I'm actually not a drinker, but that's not important. Anyway, we started to gather milk crates, and we're not entirely sure why. We just sort of, my friend picked up one of them, he's just like, oh, look at this, and he put it on his head, you know, it's kind of funny in a kind of drunk way, I guess. And then another friend of mine got the bright idea to make a milk crate castle in the middle of the town's park. And, well, no one thought it was a bad idea. So we started gathering milk crates. We had about 5 or so each when the cops pulled up. And we were a little bit worried at first. We were like, oh, what are they going to say? And I was surprised. They were really charming ladies. They pulled up. They're just like, oh, what are you doing? We're like, oh, we're going to actually take these crates to the park and build a castle with them. And yes, that's exactly what we said. Just kind of funny because they're all completely cool with that. Like, all right, well, as long as you put it all back and you don't cause any trouble, it's all good, but could we just grab your names in case anything does happen, you know? So we're like, may as well. Now, in the process of, collecting all of these crates, my friend recognized a sort of a familiar face. It wasn't a friend of his, but it was more of an acquaintance. And he said, oh, hey, how are you doing? Anyway, the acquaintance ended up, it's like, oh, what are you guys doing? And he's a fat lad. He's a big sort of like brute kind of footy rugby, you know, kind of person, and he had a lighter with him. And at first we're like, oh, cool, yeah, so whatever, lighter. And basically, once we started constructing our little crate fort, he thought it was a bright idea to start trying to light it on fire. And this was a bit of a problem because, well, the cops had our names, and we didn't want to, you know, be charged with arson or anything. Anyway, my 3 friends went off to grab some more crates, and I was actually told to just stay behind to make sure nothing gets out of hand. And the guy essentially threatened me with a broken glass, saying, what, you gonna stop me from lighting this on fire? What are you gonna do, huh? Like, he was actually getting all up in my face, and I'm gonna admit, I was pretty damn scared, because when you got a really scary rugby guy up in your face threatening to glass you, you're gonna back down. But anyway, he didn't light it on fire. I had to keep on sort of just telling him not to do it, and eventually, all my friends came back. I was explaining what this guy was doing, and they're like, all right, we're gonna go over here. We told the acquaintance, and we all went around the corner, and we decided to call the cops on these guys. We're like, these guys are trouble. They're trying to light our our crate fort on fire, and we don't want to get charged with it. Anyway, we turn the corner, we call the cops, not a moment before we actually get a hold of them, we turn the corner again to see what's become of our crate, and it's all up in flames! Everything, the entire castle, and this is a massive, massive castle. It's about 100 crates or so that we made, and this guy had managed to light the entire thing on fire within the space of a minute. And we're like, oh, shit! Because, well, the cops had our name, and not his. And it was especially scary because one of my friends had just recently turned 18, meaning he was liable to be charged as an adult, which, you know, is a lot more serious than the rest of us who were minors at the time. Anyway, we called the cops, and they basically threatened us to, well, they didn't threaten us, they said, if you guys don't find this guy's name, we're gonna be charging you with it, because you don't have any proof. We're blaming it on you, because who else is going to say otherwise? And we're freaking out. We're like, oh god, oh god. Anyway, a bit of calling up random people. Not so much random people. My friend called up another friend who was an acquaintance of the acquaintance, and we ended up getting this guy's name, and called him up, and we got off the hook. But It was a scary, scary situation. Almost getting charged with arson is not something I'd like to do again, but it's a great story. Well, at least I hope. Anyway, guys, I think that's about it. Yeah. If you like this, do whatever, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.